Hey guys, I am here today with this. This is the 2025 Maserati GranCabrio Folgore, the world's fastest EV convertible. Let's get into it. So I'm here in sunny Southern California. That way is the Pacific Ocean. I don't know if you can see that. That is Malibu, that is Topanga, that is Calabasas. I'm at the intersection of Stunt and Saddle Peak. And in a few minutes, I'm gonna take you driving on these amazing roads and in this area where I live and I love, which has recently been devastated by the fires, but Mother Nature has come back and she's green and beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, let's get into this Folgore. Okay, the MSRP on this beautiful Folgore is $204,395. The version I'm driving here today tops out at $224,595. What's the deal with the extra 20 grand? Well, we've got this beautiful blue Modena color. Can't miss that. We've got the special ADAS system, and I've got a premium audio system. Is it worth the money? Well, I dare you to find another car in the market like this today. Okay, what's under the hood? We've got an 800-volt battery system that is powered by 3 electric motors. Obviously, I've got all-wheel drive, right? This system is putting out 750 horsepower, and wait for it, 995 foot-pound of torque. I know, right? Of course, the EPA estimated range is only 233 miles, but what it does in those 233 miles is pretty special. Let's talk it through. So let's talk a little bit about this grille. Normally when you have an EV, sometimes they take the grille out. Think of the Mach-E, even think about like the Porsche Taycan. Like a lot of them have felt like they needed to make a statement with the grille. I like the fact that Maserati has kept the Trident front and center, and they've given us this beautiful grille. It's a little bit different versus the coupe. I'll show you a picture of that. So it's got this aggressive front end reminding us that this isn't your normal EV or your normal convertible. We've also got these side intakes, and you can't see it now, but I'll put some footage in. These actually are illuminated in electric blue at night to remind you about what's going on here. I've got these beautiful tires. I've got bronze brake calipers. It's all beautifully executed. These are the things we love about Maserati: elegance, performance, special details. There are a lot of those on the interior as well. Let me show you. Okay, just certain design details I like to point out. Let's look at this embossed leather. We've got the Trident again, very Maserati forward, fantastic. This is an eco leather, which you really wouldn't know is leather, which is kind of nice. And then as you can see in the rear seats, it's easier to see back here. Let me bring my tripod a little closer. But we've got perforated leather. We've got a little bit of carbon fiber details there. There are lots of beautiful touches. All the touch points are really, really elegant in this car, as you would expect, but you know, the execution's good. And plus, did I mention this enormous audio system? Really good. I'll talk about that when I talk about the back seat. Okay guys, let's talk a little bit about what's happening behind the wheel here. I've got a 12.3-inch digital infotainment screen. Great. They've done us all a favor and brought the HVAC system separate. Hooray! Of course, I do have a button for the glove box, which is something a lot of people lament, but it's at least easy to find. Great. Your gear shifts are these 4 buttons here, which is at first a little confusing, but then you get used to it, no big deal. And then my beautiful steering wheel. You can't miss these gorgeous, enormous paddle shifters, which are controlling my regenerative braking. If you've never used that, prepare to be wowed, because it's really great. And they've done a really great job in this car with the regenerative braking and making it a lot more fun. What happens essentially is when you put it in drive, let me do that and see if you can see it. Put it in drive and then you push each of the regens. You see how there's a little line there? That's telling you which level of regenerative braking you're on. Essentially, for someone like me who's a manual driver and likes nothing more than a beautiful downshift, it gives you a little bit of satisfaction with the whole thing, which is really great. My on-off, my start-stop engine button is here because this is Italian. My drive modes are here. We've got 4 different drive modes. I'm going to run through those when we're driving because that's way more fun. Your turn indicators and stuff like that are behind your paddle shifters. Sometimes if you have small hands, that can be hard. If you have big hands, it might be easier for you. Many things might be easier for you, but that's a different video. So I'm just giving you the heads up that when you test drive this car, you might just want to try those turn indicators because if you're a woman, sometimes that can be an issue. All right, let's let that one go. Other things here, we've got a charging pad here for your cell phone. There's a nice little compartment in here. The cup holders have this removable thing for a larger cup holder. I just feel like you're gonna lose that, but that's just me. But other than that, it was just fine, which is important if you're gonna have a sporty kind of car that your cup holders work well, in my opinion. Take that, Porsche. My 911 had the worst cup holders in the world. Of course, it didn't make me love the car any less. All right, and then we've got this center console, which is small, but we've got a USB-C and a regular USB port here. Very nice. What's it like? Oh, don't miss the regular traditional clock. I like it when automakers do that just sort of as an homage to their forebears. Fantastic. You know, the stitch dash, everything is really nice. The reflections weren't really an issue. Of course, fingerprints are always going to be an issue with, you know, these digital cockpits, which is what everybody's doing, but that's just life. All right, guys, let me show you the back seat. I'm 5'6", in case you're wondering. This is a proper 4-seater, you know, 4-seater for small people in the back seat. You're not going to take your 2 best adult friends like golfing in this car for many reasons, but one of which is the back seat, right? Because when I do that to the driver's seat, I have a little bit of room there, but if a person taller than 5'6" was driving, they wouldn't be comfortable. That's just the way it is. I had my daughter back here. We took the whole family on a drive. You'll see the photos, and she was super happy back here. Not because she could talk to her parents, because she couldn't. Who wants to talk to their parents, right? Especially if you're in a Maserati. She loved the sound system. She said the sound system was the best she's ever experienced, and she's a sonophile, so that's worth saying. This is by Sonos Faber. It's a very beautiful sound system. My one criticism is that the volume button is all the way on the other side of the touchscreen, and there isn't one on the steering wheel, but whatevs. Seatbelts, super easy to find, which sometimes can be an issue with these small back seats. Easy. I've got 2 cup holders. I've got a really nice HVAC vent here. All right, guys, trunks in convertibles are notoriously awful. This is no exception, which I kind of respect. Like, who cares? You got a back seat, shut up. It's where I put my groceries when I did it. Yeah, you've got a lot of things here. There's this nice separator that you can put between the front and the back seats that make it a little easier to have a conversation in front, but it takes a lot of room. Did I mention I'm next to Stunt? This is a place in LA where people go to, like, you know, mess around with their cars and have a good time. I'm not judging, just might interrupt our video a little bit, but we'll get our revenge in about 30 seconds. Okay, so lots of stuff in the trunk, right? So there's this thing that separates the front and the back. You've got your charger, blah, blah, blah. And then you've got, you know, this is supposed to be your tire kit. Good luck with that. But whatever, it's a small trunk. You can put stuff back there. Could you go shopping in this vehicle? Absolutely. Could you play golf? I don't know, I don't play golf, but it looks like you could probably put a pair of golf clubs back, a bag of golf clubs back there. I don't think it would be fun or easy, but you might be able to squeeze them in. I think that's what the back seat's for. There's so many other great things about this car that don't get all worked up about trunk space. Let's take a look at that convertible top. All right, so when we go to put the top up, they say it takes 15 seconds. All right, it's gonna take you a minute to figure out this touchscreen. It just is, and that's no judgment. It's just, it's a little wonky. So it's a touchscreen here, you press Cabrio, and then you swipe and hold in the direction that you wanna do. So here we go. I don't know if you guys are counting, it's supposed to be 15 seconds. Chilling, here we go. La la la, very nice. It's a really secure convertible top, I will say. I found that I could have conversations with people really easily. I didn't have a lot of external noise when I had the top up. Right on. All right, guys, this is the point in the video where I usually stop and are like, here's how it goes against the competitors. I've had a lot of convertibles. I've had a 911, I've had a Mini, I've got a vintage Mercedes convertible right now, and it's great. Love that Mercedes convertible, 450 SL. Who doesn't love that? You know what I don't love about it? The exhaust fumes. It's awful. Guess what doesn't have exhaust fumes? An EV. And that vehicle sure doesn't go from 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds, but obviously that's not the comparison set for this. But the point is, there really isn't a comparison set for this. Of course, there are lots of car makers that want to take $200,000 from you. But how many luxury EV convertibles are there? Oh, hold on, let me wait. Oh, wait, what? No, there aren't any. That's the point. And I think this is really interesting for two reasons. One, when you're driving with the top down, isn't that when you want it to be silent and, you know, feel like you're in touch with nature while having an amazing driving experience? Yes. Two, Maserati wasn't on my bingo card for the company that would pull up something like that, right? I didn't see that coming. Absolutely not. And if this is the future of Maserati, let's go. Look at this Land Cruiser. See, you see everything around here. It's not just sports cars. You just see the craziest cars. All right, guys, let's go for a drive. My favorite thing to do. Sorry, what's that? I know there's no engine noise. Isn't that crazy? All right. So like I said, we're at the top of the Santa Monica Mountains. This is where I drive. This is my home. I know these roads. You guys are in for a treat. All right, guys, so here I am behind the wheel, deliriously happy, inside crying a little because they're taking the car back today. Oh, makes me so sad. This is a special car. It's so nice to have a performance car that's in convertible EV. I'm just kind of shocked that nobody thought of this before. All right. This has launch control. Let's see if we have time to pull that off. I'd love to show you that because that is fun. Took my daughter for a drive the other day, and I think she was a little freaked out. I think she got a little scared. Which honestly, bring it on, girl. Toughen up. You guys hearing the suspension? Like, this is a rough road. It was pretty beat up in the fires also. The other end just completely burned, so they're doing all this construction. But you don't feel it, right? I mean, of course you feel it. You feel the right amount of road feel, which is exactly what you want when you're driving a performance car. So I've got it in sport. So you hear the sport exhaust, right? Now I've got it in GT, just lovely, right? A little sporty, we're going with our friends, going places. Here's a big old pothole, but you know what? Thank you, steering, so good, I avoided it. So we had the sport mode, we went to GT. Now I'm gonna go to Corsa. Corsa takes off the ESC, right? The electronic stability control. Do I feel like dying today? No, I don't, because I probably would do something silly. So we're not going to go there. We're not going to stand here. I mean, this is kind of a boring section, so I can just talk to you about that, right? So it turns off that stuff, fine. Again, it gives me I've got a little extra regen, and when I've got it in this mode, it's kind of nice. Feel how heavy that is? Woo! And then we're gonna go up to max range. Max range, so that's your eco mode. And I'm gonna turn up the regenerative braking. You can feel that. Car gets instantly heavier, a little slower. It's you know, hypothetically shifting at different RPMs, but we all know it's a little different here in an EV, right? That stuff isn't real. Can you see how beautiful it is here? I hope you can. All right, guys, here we are at Mulholland. I'm taking a right from Stunt. If this means nothing to you, that's okay. Because look, we got a straightaway, that guy in the convertible. So I'm just gonna chill down here. So we're not gonna go from, well, let's just stop, right? I got nobody behind me. Yeah, that was nice. I had a great time. But you guys, of course I'm slowing down. If you come here to Southern California and think you're not gonna get a ticket driving on Mulholland, especially on a weekend, you're hilarious. All right, I know a lot of you are gonna ask me what it's like, the sound with the top up. So here I go. I'm gonna put the top up. Putting the top up. It is worth saying I did a couple phone calls with the top down. No problem. CarPlay, mics, no problem. So please, for the love of God, if I see you driving this car around LA and I see you talking like this, I'm gonna come over and pair your phone. It makes me crazy. All right, guys, maybe you can hear my seat. The seats are a little noisy. The vents, whatever. They're a little noisy. I don't know if you can hear the difference, but now my seat vent is off. All right, there was a police car behind me. So I'm just gonna be a little careful here. Pull out. Now I'm driving on Topanga Canyon Boulevard. It's currently closed because of the fires. Whatever. Let's talk about what this feels like to drive with the top down, top up. Let's talk about, sorry, I'm putting the air on my face because all of a sudden it's gotten really hot. The top is up now. Does it just feel like I'm driving a regular GT? Yeah, pretty much. There's a little bit of road noise, but nothing terrible. This is where your mic is. Oh, sorry. This is where the speaker is. Hooray. This is where your mic is for phone calls. Works really, really well. Don't be worried about that. Audio, is it good? Oh, baby. Yes, sir. It's also got like, 3D surround sound. It's got so many adjustments in this sound system. So if you're an audiophile, please mess around with that because you're gonna have a really great time. But with the top up, my dermatologist would be delighted right now that I have the top up. But listen, if you're driving in Seattle, New York, even Miami, right? You guys get a fair amount of rain. I wish we got a little bit more rain here these days. You're gonna need to put the top up. What does that feel like? It's easy. The sound is nice. The insulation is good. It's a well done convertible, plain and simple. Let's talk about the safety systems in this vehicle. As I said, it's got, there are standard safety systems, and then there are the things that are an additional fee in the model that I drive, which I'm driving, that compose the ADAS suite. So Lane keep assist, great. Automatic braking, fantastic. The adaptive cruise control is part of the upcharge. I used it on the freeway. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Adaptive cruise controls just work better in electric cars because you need that instant torque for the stop and start. You wouldn't expect a car like this to be as good in the adaptive cruise control that it is. It's very good. The sensors were nice. It worked beautifully. Again, the buttons are a little difficult to navigate here, but that's definitely not going to stop anybody from getting in this car. And if it did, you're a fool. Other technology things, the cameras are lovely. Cameras are really great. Sensors in general are good. I'm happy to say I didn't have to use the automatic braking, but the sensors and the alerts weren't, paranoid. They were all very well behaved and nice. I'm going slow right now, going 35 miles per hour. And a lot of these burn zones, they don't let you go over 25 miles per hour because there's so much construction. This is a really beautiful car in lower speeds. There are a lot of cars, M4, M3, talking to you, that are just aggressive, right? Sports cars that are just sad when they're not going fast. This is, of course, more on the GT side of things. So when you're going slow, it's happy. Of course, it wants to go fast, and it can go fast, and it knows that. It's not gonna get grumpy. You're happy if you're going slow. Even when I was stuck in traffic, I wasn't unhappy. And to me, that's the sign of a great GT, that you can really enjoy the environment around you and be happy whether you're going fast or slow. These seats are beautiful. I'm very comfortable in this car. I've got a lot of adjustments in the steering wheel, also adjustments in the seat to make me happy. All of that works really well. I've got a lumbar support that I'm adjusting right now. That certainly helps if you have a bad back. You can also adjust the suspension, the ride height of this car. Is it hard to get out of this car? If you're an older person, I didn't have any issues with it. It's not that low to the ground. Also, the egress and ingress, as they call it, was quite well designed. There was nothing in my way getting in or out of the car. Fine. There's a big bump here. She doesn't care. She's fine. So what's the verdict? I mean, as I said before, there's so many things to love about this car because it's so special, because it's so unique, because why didn't we think of an EV convertible sports car earlier, especially in the luxury segment where people can afford this stuff? What a wonderful experience I had in this car. I totally get it. While there were a few things that made me nutso, there were so many more that made me happy. I think this is a special ride. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. There you have it. Sorry, I'm distracted. Some guy just drove by in a pickup truck and gave me the thumbs up. Exactly. I got a lot of that here, and they don't even know that this is an EV, which is kind of great. The 2025 Maserati GranCabrio Folgore. Wow, what an experience. I loved it. What did you think? Let me know in the comments.